Hi everyone. Today I wanted to talk about the fact that um, relationships actually never have to end. We never have to really cut people off from our lives, unless, of course, there are cases of abuse, or like physical violence. I'm not really discussing that. So much of what makes us shut down and run away from our relationships is actually our own state of emotional overwhelm. And any conflict can bring to this feeling for all of us, once again, living post-trauma, any conflict can feel like the end of a relationship, which is also our greatest fear, right? So many of us fear abandonment and rejection, and endings of relationships feel like that, like we've been abandoned or rejected. I've been very lucky to experience in my life relationships that remain post fallout. It may take a little bit of time, but I've been experimenting with some relationships that are able to stay through pain, through heartache, because both partners have come far enough to understand that what we're actually experiencing is our own woundedness, that the feelings in our body are the result of our own woundedness, result of our own trauma, understanding that the triggers that we experience in our current relationships are actually unprocessed experiences from the past, unprocessed wounds from the past. So when you're lucky enough to be in a relationship where both people are aware of the process, then there is no need to shut people out of your life. You allow relationship to actually evolve. It may mean that the relationship changes its structure. We may move from living together to living apart, but we remain friends, for example. I've always admired people who post-divorce were able to remain in co-parenting and friends, regardless of what, that rupture of marriage that happened between them. I think that's so incredible, and that's such a healing process, because what I found in my journey, when I am able to redefine the relationship, when both people, when me and the person with whom I'm in a relationship can return to discuss what happened, often we realize that the pain I've experienced was actually due to my own perception of the situation. I felt rejected, or I felt violated, or I felt invaded. The ability to talk about it, the ability to repair, is so incredibly healing, because then you understand that that pain you felt actually wasn't the truth, that you really weren't rejected, that you are still important enough for the person in front of you to try to understand what happened, to work through what happened, to repair what happened. And I just think that that is the future of relationships, and is an incredibly healing process, because we never have to cut people out of our lives. Isn't that wonderful? That the relationship can continue, it just evolves to a different shape. Like, we can still love people and allow the relationship to just evolve and become something else. What usually prevents that process is because we have these very specific ideas about what love means, what relationship means. For example, we think, well, if we're in love, then we must move toward living together and then marriage, or just living together and maybe children. If we're living together, then you should behave like this and you should behave like that. And I'm just really interested in opening our concept of what it means to be in love, what it means to be in a relationship, what it means to love someone, and that we can free it from even living together. We can love each other and live separately. We can live together and allow maybe loving other people as well. I'm really, really passionate and excited actually about these possibilities, because I think that it will eliminate a lot of our pain and will allow much more joy into our lives, if only we can free ourselves from that very strict patriarchal, hierarchical structure that was imposed on us as to what relationships mean, or friendships mean for that matter. I'm currently going through a lot of experimentation with my friendships and also find a lot of liberty in that from my preconceived ideas about it, the way I was raised with, and this kind of idealistic and not very realistic notion of what all this means. So just wanted to share with you that if we can free ourselves from our own clinging to specific images that were imposed on us from others, we can create so much more spaciousness in our relationships and reinvent our relationships in a way that we don't have to lose people from our lives. We can continue having them in our lives, just under different configuration. All right, well, let me know how that feels, how that lands for you. And of course, something that I want to add to that is that living in the body is so important, right? Understanding, being embodied and understanding that my feelings are mine, my processes are mine. What are they telling me about my wounds that haven't been processed yet? How can I relax my nervous system, process the painful feelings that are within me, and then give, a conversation another chance, not just shut people out. All right, everyone, I hope this helps. See you next time.